Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Designer Studio episode. We got a really exciting episode today because it's the long-awaited return of the Corsair, which has been kind of a staple kit that was outside of the Brickmania arsenal, if you will, for these past couple of years, and has now made a triumphant return in conjunction with the release of the Devotion movie, which if you guys remember the last time Brickmania did a series of Corsairs, it was when the book, probably not first released, but when the book became a thing that was included with that bundle. Yeah. So this is the second time now that the Brickmania Corsair has been in tandem with an Adam Mako's production, which is pretty darn cool.
Second F4U-4, which is what the Navy was flying at the onset of the Korean War.
Yep.
Late World War II, Korean War, this would have been a thing. And of course, the first time we did this, we included the book Devotion.
Right. But now there's a movie.
Yeah. Isn't that weird how it's come full circle?
Right.
But now the movie's coming out. We actually have permission from the manufacturer, Northrop Grumman, to make the airplane. We've been working on this for years, and finally, hey, look, we can do it. And it just happened to work out that the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
So we're starting out with a reboot, and we're this isn't a completely new Corsair. It's a amalgamation of one of the 6 or 7 Corsairs Brickmania has done over the years, and and a lot of updated parts, and of course the printing is just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, really, just an absolutely beautiful plane, especially when you think about the colors that we kind of rarely get to use in this collaboration here is really nice. And then the other cool thing about it too is that there's actually 2 kits.
Right.
And the kits themselves identical, other than the fact that the minifigures are different. This one we have here is 211K. That's the Jesse Brown aircraft, and then the other one is 205.
205.
Yeah, right. So that would be the other one.
Thomas Hudner.
Yeah, that would be the other one that's available in conjunction with this as well. So if you want both the minifigures and you want both of the exclusive printed items for either kit, you would have to pick up both of those. Otherwise, if you're picking up just one, whichever one you get, you're going to get the most updated build.
Right, exactly. So they're both identical in that respect. Some of the cool features about it, the canopy right now is propped open. I think on the previous video we only had it closed. So
sure.
I did prop it open, so you can pose it. It doesn't slide. One of the earlier Corsairs we did had a sliding mechanism on. Wasn't very sturdy.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Wasn't very practical, so I nixed it and instead built this. Basically built in a mechanism that you can pose it either way with just a minimal change of parts.
It's got to be one of the tougher brick-built canopies just kind of out there in general. You've seen a lot of designs where people try to capture that, and some succeed, some don't.
Yeah, and in the size that we're building here, it's tough. In order to get there's no proper Lego piece, so we have to build a canopy.
Right.
And it's possible. We've done it before, but like I said, it wasn't sturdy, and there's other ones that we've had. It's like, I as a designer, I kind of cringe. We always have to make compromises.
Yes.
Well, those maybe not the best compromise in the world. So
you learn. You continue to learn.
Right. So this is the Corsair we have now. We have this license for a while now. So we're going to be making. This isn't going to be the only Corsair we make, but this is going to be the only one we have for a while because there's going to be such demand that in order for us to keep up with these, the first 50, we made 50 of each. They sold out in minutes. We've just redone another batch. We're committed to doing it. So the batch is already in production. And in fact, as we make this video, it's for sale today. So I don't know when you see this; it may already be sold out again. But we'll try to keep pipelining that, and then we'll make as many as people are interested in, going forward.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those staple kits that people have been excited to see return. And then there was already, the second you leaked it on social media, it was like, wait, are you going to do a World War II one too? It's like, we'll get there. Don't worry. All right, we're just starting with this. We're doing 2 in conjunction with the movie.
We will do Marines. We will do other Navy. We'll do other camouflages. This is what we're starting with. It's not the end-all, be-all, and of course, as with all Brickmania kits, there will be an evolution. So there'll be improvements made. There'll be other versions going forward. Now that we have actual permission to do it, we'll be making this on a regular basis.
Yeah, awesome.
There should always be a Corsair in stock or in a pre-order status of some kind.
Moving forward, that's great to hear. So talking about the build itself, obviously, like you said, printing something super cool that we can go over to see where the updates are there. We also have kind of some sneaky cool 3D printed elements worked into the rockets. Talk to me a little bit more about the design itself, and then showcase some of that artwork.
Well, of course, the artwork is. this is all printed. Everything you see on here is printed. I did make a small compromise. Let me see if I can get this. It really wants to stay on there.
Nothing wrong with that.
The stand. So it will stay. Of course, stand on its own wheels and stuff. So we'll just. Of course, hard to do while the thing is moving. Rubber tires on a moving turntable. But look at the bottom. The only 2 stickers on here. They're optional. You don't need to put them on. They're the bottom of the wings. They're just 2 stickers because we didn't want to have to. It's hard enough to print on the top, crossing all these tiles.
Right.
Do bottom studs or even bottom tiles. which in dark blue are kind of hard to get, would make this wing really bulky. So for the time being, only have the stickers on it. It's the only place the stickers are. But as you mentioned before, let me hold this still. These rockets on here have a new 3D printed tip on them.
Yeah, and that's kind of sneaky. That's not something we've done too terribly, common in the
It's
past.
a black background. How do I hold this?
Yeah,
People
no
can
kidding.
see it.
hold it up to a white letter or whatever. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a 3D printed part that fits over that candle piece that we use to make these folding fin rockets. Well, they're actually not folding fin rockets. They're
Fixed fin rockets.
yes, they are fixed fin. Yeah, they are. I can't remember, HFAA or something like that. But
They look sweet is what they do.
But we want to make a nose cone, so we'll actually be able to use that for other missiles going forward as well. So we'll be able to update some of our previous missiles.
Cool.
And that's something I want to do. I want to make a specific, like a Sidewinder tip, for a seeker for that, and some of the other specifics. So now that we've gotten away from just using the 3D printers for helmets and muzzle brakes, is like, wow, it kind of opens the door to a whole bunch more possibilities. So.
Well, and it feels like kind of the same territory. If you're trying to capture that muzzle brake on a Tiger, it's like, what on earth would you use in the Lego medium to be able to capture that?
We can make 95% of the vehicle, 99 actually,
Right.
out of Lego's bricks. But then there's just there's certain military applications that we need to have our own things, just like the brick arms. So
Exactly.
So I'm super grateful that we have a team that can really just rip that kind of stuff out really well. But so as an airplane though, I mean this does everything that you're supposed to do for a Corsair. You do have your rotating prop. The wings will fold. I think I demonstrated this once before.
Yeah, we got a little preview of this.
You kind of have to take off these cheese slopes that are built into the wing, which is not easy when you don't have any fingernails. So let's see if
I think we got a separator around here if we need one.
Well, it won't even work in this particular case. So you can fold them. You can stick these things back on. You just have to turn them sideways. But you will be able to fold them. So when you do build your carrier, you'll be able to stow these things under the deck. And, I would recommend an Independence class, unless you have a really big house and you can build a full Essex class carrier. But
It's quite the undertaking for somebody out there.
yeah. So they do fold. You do have the rockets. You do have the canopy that is completely posable. I think let's actually just turn that off
Yep.
and make my life easier. And then the landing gear, of course, they do also is fold up as well. You have to do a little bit of a little manual work. You have to pull the wheel out to get that in there.
So that it lays flat. I see what you're saying.
Right. And I think if you're really going to want it to lay flat, you're going to have to pull off the fuel tank here.
Okay.
You could jettison the external fuel tank if you
So
really
that you can fold in your wheels.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of one of those compromises too, though. That like, first of all, usually with landing gear, simpler is better.
Right.
And then if you try to capture too many functions and you're sacrificing stability to have something that looks cool while it swivels down,
100%.
that's not always exactly a sought-after play feature.
Right.
They just want wheels for it to land on.
Right, and then of course you just have the stand is just an easy build.
Yeah.
Whoops. You can pose it either way, taking off,
or
or
swooping
attacking.
down.
Yep. So it's just a matter of flipping it around. Oops. Pull the bottom of the airplane out. It's the one thing that this stand actually made a little adapter piece on here, so we could use it with the.
Yeah, you don't have to have a pin or whatever, or the bar connection.
Yep. So it doesn't actually. There's no hole in the bottom of the
Right.
aircraft for this thing. It would be impossible without destroying the aircraft.
Still sits nice and sturdy, though. You can see we got the little printed nameplate going on there. Do you want to get that minifigure out of there?
Yeah, we'll see if we can get them out without
Showcasing,
tearing the canopy. It
ripping
might
it
be
apart.
stuck in there. We can pull the canopy off if we
There
have
we
to.
go.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that. Because I love some of the updates we have, especially accessory-wise,
Right, and that
to this
is,
minifigure.
I should point out that is a brand new helmet and a brand new oxygen mask.
Those are both ours. There's no that's
Yep.
custom created.
Absolutely,
yeah,
and
that's
it was made because this was a transitional period. So this was like the first real hard shell Navy helmet
Right.
that came out. So the goggles and stuff. It's UV printed and then or 3D printed and UV printed on top of that. And of course the oxygen mask is a separate piece. So those are two new pieces, and they're two different designs. We did something a little bit different. So the oxygen mask actually kind of disappears around the side of the figure rather than like underneath his
trying
chin.
to integrate into his wherever he has it tucked down.
Yeah. So that's a new piece. So both kits will come with that particular feature. But I love the figure, the printing all around. I mean, that's just it's the Navy uniform. The two figures are different too. They don't have the same. They don't have the same clothing on. They don't have the same flight suit on. So it's a little bit different for each figure.
Well, and if this is if the Corsair and or Korean War is your bag, I definitely would recommend picking up both these kits because, like we said, even if the builds are the same, there are some really nice details, and the fact they just look great next to each other.
Right.
I mean, it's a nice display piece, and obviously you get to showcase those figures. Then you can pretty much set it up right like that if you want to have them showcased right next to his plaque. So. Very, very cool and an excellent duo. Anything else you want to cover on this build?
No, I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself. The printing is top notch. I love the way that they printed it. They actually double hit. So, you know, I don't know, some of the newer, you know, on brand sets
Sure.
have had a
Sure.
they've gotten a little skimpy on the printing, and like the colors don't quite match. And we're like, well, we want to make sure that this one is.
Yeah, that white jumps. I mean, that it really, really pops on that dark blue, which is exactly what you want to see, nice and crisp and clean, and even the subtle details up here near the front.
Oh yeah,
really,
the
really
cowl,
nice
the
to see.
cowling. It's printed all the way around. There's intake on the bottom here. Oops, I don't know if you can see that. There's an intake on the bottom. Maybe you have to rotate the prop to see it, if you can. Yeah, it's just this printing is so sharp. There's a printed cockpit. Printed display panel in the cockpit.
Of course, more Slams Easter eggs probably.
No, it's very much a steam gauge, old school, you know, printed tile.
Awesome.
Cockpit. No surprises.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, the movie for now is only in theaters, but I don't even think the initial batches of kits have officially shipped yet, right? We're still.
No, we're working on this week, finishing up the instructions. I mean, we just got these parts off the printer. They were done late last week, and then we got them sorted out today and applied to the model.
So depending on how bold you want to be, you can either bring your Corsair into the movie theater with you to be able to build in conjunction with watching the film, or you have to wait until
get butter all over it.
or you have to wait until it's streaming to be able to build in your home situation.
Well,
there.
you could build it and then not necessarily watch.
Bring
the
it
movie at the
in,
same
bring
time.
it in. Yeah, you zoom it around the.
Read the book.
Or read the book.
Read the book. The
kidding.
good old-fashioned, you know, analog way of watching a movie.
There you go. You can play the film in your head. But otherwise, a fantastic hit. Cool to be involved with Adam Makos, and we're excited to see the movie.
Yeah, I am too.
So there you have it. That is the Designer Studio episode for the new Corsair by Brickmania. Thank you very much for watching.